guys, welcome back to the Weeb Army, where we discuss all the weeb shit in the world with a military attitude. So, I do want to start this video off by saying I am very sorry for taking so long to get back into it. It's a lot of shit going on, unfortunately. But, for now, I'm back, and I think I got a pretty banger video for you guys today. So, gonna do the third episode of Breakdown, where I break down anime series or manga series, light novel series, anything anime related, and then I give my opinions on them, and blah blah blah. You guys already know what it is. This is episode 3. So, this particular series is my personal favorite anime of all time. So, High School DD starts out with the main character Issei Hyodo. It shows him as sort of this incel type, as most anime harem protagonists tend to be, and it establishes very quickly that he's very much into boobs, into big anime titties, and that right there turns a lot of people off. Just gonna throw that out there right now, because a lot of people are starting to turn away from the more cliche, ecchi type bullshit that a lot of harem anime fall into, unfortunately. But you realize eventually that it becomes important, but we'll get to that later. As the first episode goes on, you start to realize things are getting kind of weird and strange. You don't really understand why. And that is because Issei Hyodo is actually possessed by the spirit of the Welsh dragon, also known as Drag. And he goes on a date with a fallen angel who was essentially contracted by other fallen angels. We don't know exactly who contracted this individual. I don't think it was Azazel, but it's hard to say, really. That's getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. So, as season 1 goes along, you start to realize that Issei has a lot of growing to do, and Issei is reborn as a devil by the main heroine of the anime, Rias Grimory, who is the sister of Sir Zex, who is basically Satan himself in this anime. And she is also the head of the Grimory household and is also the president of the cult research club at the high school as well. But then season 1 progresses, and then you realize that Issei has a lot of growing to do, and his pervertedness seems to be almost a setback for him, until you realize he starts gaining powers because of it. Now we're gonna jump ahead a bit to about midway through season 2. So after their fight with Kokobile, you run into a character who is now the arch nemesis of Issei and the Red Dragon Emperor, who is Vali, who is the White Dragon Emperor, who is possessed by the spirit of the White Dragon Albion. And then towards the end of season 2, with their final fight that they have, like Issei versus Vali, you start to gauge exactly how Issei is when it comes to fighting. You realize that his strength, his power, comes from his pervertedness. I know, I couldn't make this shit up even if I tried. And you realize that he gains an ungodly amount of power just from Rias's boobs. And Vali threatens to shrink Rias's boobs by using the White Dragon's power, Divine Dividing. And next thing you know, Issei just fucking explodes, and it is absolutely awesome. Now, Season 3 doesn't have a whole lot other, like, as far as power, like as far as strength goes, except for the fact that Issei does gain the ability to do his balance breaker without the assistance of losing an arm or a leg or a body part, whatever. And that comes from him touching Rias's boobs. Surprise, surprise. There's a lot more character development in Season 3, including the rivalry between Issei and Volley. That, and towards the end of Season 3, when Asya gets sent into the dimensional gap, she was assumed to have been dead. But, I mean, later on we find out that Asya was not dead. But that unlocks a power, quote-unquote, that Issei has, that both of the dragons have, called Juggernaut Drive. However, he had an incomplete transformation, and Volley actually saves Issei's life because Volley, being the good man he is, wanted to fight Issei at his best. And then Season 4 has a lot more character progression, and that has to do with the fact that Issei is gaining power not only just from his pervertedness, but from the power of friendship as well, as cliche as that is. However, he unlocks his strongest powers when he A, touches Rias's boobs, and B, after Rias admits to being in love with Issei. Now, of course, it leaves off where all the girls are essentially on even ground now, basically saying they're not going to give up Issei to anyone. And that's pretty much generally how the series goes, to put it bluntly. Now, first things first, would I say that this is a difficult anime to get into? Absolutely not. The progression is actually quite slow. It takes 2.5 seasons for Issei to be able to use one of his most powerful weapons, which is his balance breaker, to fight without having to give up a body part, because his body can now physically handle the power that the balance breaker has. But once he's unlocked his balance breaker, the sky's the limit for what he's physically capable of doing. And I did forget to mention as well that it does end off with Issei potentially being promoted by Serzex to become a mid-ranking devil. That just shows you how much progression he had over 4 seasons. Now, the lore behind this is actually pretty extensive. It goes into more like biblical type stuff, like angels, fallen angels, and devils. It's basically that 3-way war. But then that war essentially ends by Season 2 because the formation of the Chaos Brigade, which is led by Volley and Orpheus, the Ouroboros dragon, or the infinite dragon god. What the Chaos Brigade does is essentially they just use their power to use their power and nothing more. So in Season 4, even comes out and says, oh shit. He even comes out and states that the main goal of the Chaos Brigade is to just show and to prove that normal humans can fight among the gods. Because what the Chaos Brigade is formed of, essentially, are humans that are possessed by the spirits of other things and are known as a Longinus. And those are given to humans so they have the power and the strength and the ability to essentially be able to fight a god. And that's exactly what the Chaos Brigades, that's their entire reasoning for being. That's it. And now they are a threat to the angels, devils, and fallen angels because they are threatening to start the 3-way war back up again, which essentially would send the world spiraling into absolute chaos. But this anime has a lot of lore that you can also look into yourself. I did explain a good majority of it. There's a lot more to come if Season 5 even is approved, which, fingers crossed, because they left off on a pretty big cliffhanger. I mean, of course, you could go read the manga too, but that's besides the point. But I wanted to dive more into the lore behind this anime. A, because that's kind of what the series is, and B, because people overlook how good this anime actually is because of the ecchi elements to it, which to some extent I can kind of understand, but at the same time you have to kind of understand that the ecchi parts to it are actually as much of a part of the plot progression as literally any other fucking part of the anime is. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. If you would like to see more from me for some reason, you can go subscribe to my gaming channel. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. And also, I will be trying to upload more frequently than I was in the past, because I know that like I've missed months at a time and whatever else. But this year, 2021, I am planning on making this more of a routine, making videos more of a routine. So you guys can look forward to that, as well as the fact that you guys definitely deserve it, because a lot has changed since I've been gone, and you guys are absolutely awesome. There's even more growth happening, and I'm super excited to see where this channel goes, because I mean, you guys are just awesome. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, why not share with your friends, your family, or whoever else you want, and I will see all you magnificent bastards in the next video.